Welcome back. I'm Tyler, you're watching Scarfing Scarves, and welcome to yet another edition of This Is Not Last Week Lolita News, because if you're watching this, I'm in California at Anime Expo with BB&B, and I've decided to leave you with some content to watch instead of nothing at all, which was usually my prerogative. Makes me sound terribly unprofessional, but I swear I'm a recovering procrastinator. Alright, so today is actually a pretty special episode. I solicited your stories about times that your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, or your husband saved the day or did something really fracking sweet. And I cannot wait to read these stories. And it was so hard to choose. It was so hard. You guys have amazing stories that just reignite my faith in humanity, which dwindled down to nothing. Like, couldn't see it with a microscope, you know, attached to a satellite dish. Like, you wouldn't see it. So I picked a few. I'm gonna have to do another one of these, but we're gonna go through what I've managed to whittle down through much crying and shrieking and banging my head against the wall, because they're all wonderful. Despite the description, let's not even dwell on that. I have issues. I should also preface that I told people that when they shared their stories with me that I would change their names to protect their anonymity unless they told me otherwise. So if you see your story here and you missed that part in the shtick, that's why your name isn't your name here. I'm trying to protect your identity unless you told me not to. So here we go. Let's get started. Let's reignite our collective faith in humanity. Our first story is from a girl we shall call Mary. And she says, I'm fairly new to wearing Lolita, but every time I question whether or not I should get deeper into the fashion, my BF hypes me up. I show him dresses and accessories on Lace Market. He won't stop gushing about, you would look so cute in that. He's the reason I've bought the few pieces I have, and on occasion has thrown Visa gift cards that he's won at work at me from across the house, telling me to get that dress or accessory I spotted online. He doesn't fully understand the fashion, but he's always wanting to listen to anything I have to say. The first time I read this story, when I was trying to whittle things down, like I wanted to cry. Like that level of support and sweetness, and I can just picture him like tossing a gift card across the house, just directly at her head, but out of affection. And just reading this makes me so happy for her. Like, I'm so glad she has that, and that her boyfriend is so sweet and wonderful. And this is a wonderful story, and I'm just so happy for you. I know, like, that's not much of substance, but I'm just so happy for you. I fracking love it that he's like her little hype man for Lolita. All right, we got to move on to the next one, because this one's gonna make me cry right out the gate. The next one is from a girl we shall call Alice. I know, okay, shut up. I'm not very good at coming up with names on the spot. This is what we have. And she says, my husband is the sole reason I was able to go to Paradiso this year. I was always super afraid to go by myself, but he pushed me to go and told me he would come with me to help curb my social anxiety. He even went as far as getting a brand new suit the week prior with the same color palette as the dress I was going to wear. I never expected him to do any of that, but it made me so happy to see that he wanted to join me on something that he had little to no knowledge about. I asked him what brought him to do it, and he said, I know how happy this fashion makes you, and how much it means to you, and that alone was worth it. I bought him his first piece that event, a crown from Voodoo Dolly to show my gratitude. From the Slytherin couple. I met these people at Paradiso, and they were the cutest little couple I had ever seen. Like, I legit thought they were doing a Slytherin thing. It was all black and green, and it was adorable, and it was very elegant and sweet, but apparently not. I was wrong. But my, like, mismanagement of my ideas aside, like, that's so wonderful. Like, he didn't know anything about nothing about the fashion, really, nothing about the event, but he was willing to drop his entire weekend. You know, he could have been staying at home doing whatever he likes to do. I don't know, video games or some nonsense. Whatever guys like to do. I don't know what you do when we're not there. I don't want to know what you do when we're not there. I had a lot of guy friends growing up. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. But anyway, back to the adorable story. He went with her to a Lolita-specific event, meaning that there is going to be no video games. There's going to be no guy stuff that's not OG-specific. And he went with her, and she had him together, and they looked so lovely. And it was so wonderful to meet them. And I just love this story, because there's so much effort and time that he put into it, and it's just, indicative of how much he must love her, you know? And I just love seeing that. We see too many horror stories about guys who won't even go on a date to, I don't know, IHOP with their Lolita girlfriend at 2 a.m. when no one will see them. And this guy is willing to drop everything, match her outfit, go to a Lolita-specific event, and just have a ball together. And this is a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing it. Our next one is from Ephemeral. She is one of my patrons, and her story, okay, I'll just read it. And she says, I am a bone cancer survivor, which explains why I'm salty as the Dead Sea, because I went through a year of debilitating chemotherapy and 6 extreme surgeries. As such, I lost much of the use of my left arm, and I have a rippling scar that runs from elbow to spine. My now fiancé has taken it upon herself to always ensure I look my best when we go out in Lolita. She helps me dress, does my zippers and buttons, puts on my jewelry, and does my hair for me, and puts on my headgear since one hand can't quite do it. With her help, I actually feel beautiful in the fashion. I don't know what I'd do without her. I certainly would have quit long ago, and you can keep my name. You just like regain my composure. You know, are there words? I don't think there are words to express how wonderful this is and how amazing. I've ran out of words. You broke my word making. Like, I can't even compose my brain right now because that's just so sweet. I know we were talking about, you know, boyfriends and fiancés and girlfriends who go out of their way to be specifically sweet and save the day. But this is such a wonderful example of someone who loves and supports their significant other, or very soon to be wife, enough to go and help her with something that she truly loves and that makes her feel beautiful. And to make sure that she can continue to do that thing after a battle that she had with her own health and won, because she's still here. She went through 6 surgeries. I can't imagine one. Like, she went through all of that and she came out the other side, and her fiancé was waiting for her to help her continue doing what she loves and to make her feel beautiful. And this story is so wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that she has that level of support and that she has that in her life, because she deserves it. She's been through so much, and her fiancé has gone above and beyond to make sure that she can continue to enjoy what she loves. And that is really, really special and wonderful. And thank you for sharing this story with us. It was amazing. Thank you, Anna. Recompose myself before we do this again. Next one, we shall call her Ariana, not Grande. And Ariana says, my boyfriend from day one has supported my frilly obsession, from being my stand-in mannequin when mine bit the dust, to waiting for packages and sending me pictures at work of my conquest with glittery photo apps. But we all know that beauty is pain sometimes, and mine came in the form of RYU platforms. We were heading to the city, he to work, and I for a meetup, and I decided to test run my new ballet bays. I wound up falling horribly, messing up my ankles in the process. This super dude grabbed all my things, took the devilish pink pear off my aching feet, and carried me piggyback all the way home. He was so late to work, and I felt like an awful blubbery mess as he wrapped my foot and hyped me back up to go to my meet. Can't wait to put a ring on it, to be honest. You might want to put a whole lasso on that man. Like, don't let him get away. Any man that not only is late to work to save some frilly motherfucker, and also encourages you to go back to a meet after carrying you. Like, that guy is a keeper. You keep him. You might want to put like a tracking device in his shoe somewhere. Like, that's what I recommend at this point, because this is amazing. Like, not that you fell on your face, because we've all been there. Well, we've all been there. But that he's so wonderful. Like, he was willing to like completely like frack up his workday, come back for the lady he loves, and haul her ass off the ground. This guy is amazing, and I am so glad that you have him in your life, and that he is there for you when you fall on your butt and need to be picked back up and carried bodily to your destination. I love this fracking story. And also, watch it with the shoes, ladies. Like, seriously, let's be practical. We got enough frippery going on. Don't make yourself, like, fall over like the Leaning Tower of Pisa or some nonsense. Like, it's only a matter of time. That thing's gonna fall over, I'm just saying. I'm sorry for people who were hoping to see it before it does, but that thing's just gonna fall the frack over one day. I don't know how we got on that topic. Let's move along. Thank you, Ariana. Forgot that I named you after a pop star. Anyway, thank you, Ariana. Wonderful story. The next one is from a girl we shall call Rachel, and she says, "My husband is the most supportive Lolita husband I think anyone could have. He has always been interested in learning about the fashion and the different brands and why I love it so much. He understands how important fashion is to me. Whenever I want something, instead of dismissing it as frivolous, he always wants to know why. Like how, of course, I need 8 colors of Tea Party shoes because then I can make lots of different coordinates. He has been on numerous shopping sprees through Tokyo and doesn't complain when I need to visit every single closet child or have him hold my 8,000 bags. He loves coming to afternoon tea and is always welcomed by our frilly friends. He has been to meetups, events, and all around the world supporting me in this ridiculous lifestyle I love. I've been a Lolita for 15 years, and we've been married for 13, and there's no way I could pick just one memory." This story's just all kinds of niceness. It's just all kinds of niceness. It's like, it's just an entire little window. It's a little peek into the life of a couple who loves and supports each other and just goes about their days with that love and support just in the background of their lives, like an undercurrent of everything that is good about marriage and love and just togetherness. And I almost gagged when I said that last word, but what little spark of humanity remains in my soul is deeply touched by this. And now I'm just gonna spout all the happy little buzzwords until I cry. And oh God, it's just so wonderful. I love that he's willing to follow her around numerous closet childs. Like, I love my special person, but his patience has a limit. He'd do it. He'd do it. But he would complain. And I just love this story of these two little life together. Like, I can almost see a tiny little sitcom of the, I'm dating a Lolita, or, the Lolita boyfriend, or boyfriends of Lolita. I believe that was already done by either Lore or Deerstalkers, one of the two. There's only 2, right? But I just love this. I love your little story. I love that you've been married for 13 years. I feel like that's so rare these days. Like people, especially with dating apps, people feel there's so many fish in the sea that like the moment someone annoys them slightly or isn't exactly who they decided they have to be, like they drop somebody and they go on to the next one. And I love that 2 people who love each other this much and love each other enough to continue on through hard times have been together and just had fun and grown and supported each other's hobbies and interests. And this is a wonderful story. And I hope you have many more shopping sprees together to come. I'm so happy for you. Thank you for sharing this. The next one is from a girl we shall call Lauren, and she says, "My husband is not into the fashion, but he is kind, sweet, and he goes out of his way to buy me things that will make me happy. The first brand dress he bought me was my melty cream donut in mint. He contacted a shopping service and got it in time for Christmas. It's not just that he supports my Lolita habit. When I'm feeling down about myself, he brings me back up. He always makes me laugh, and we are equal partners. I feel like I won husband lottery with him. I might be biased, but I think he's the best." He is the best. Okay, all right, I'm biased here, okay, about this story. Lolita fashion as a gift at Christmas time, forget, okay, Lolita fashion in general. A brand angelic pretty dress as a gift at Christmas time was my Lolita dream, like some years back. And then my family organized, and my special person organized to get me 2 dresses. Not just one dress, 2 dresses that I wanted from Angelic Pretty for Christmas, and that was the most magical, wonderful, like affirming moment in my Lolita life, because everyone wants Lolita for Christmas, everyone. And we always end up with like Hello Kitty and fishnet tights and cat ears and weird Nekomato French horror costumes. I know that took a south turn at the end. I know we're supposed to be talking about sweet things, but this is how my brain works. And instead of all that, here we have a wonderful story about how her fracking husband got her melty cream donut in mint for Christmas. Lolita fashion for Christmas. Everyone wants that. And I just love Christmas so much, and I can just see like the joy in her eyes when she unwraps that package and it's the real deal. No Mado ears, no Hello Kitty nonsense, no random things that should be in a lingerie store. Actual angelic pretty in a box during Christmas time when everything's cold outside and you feel so warm and snuggly and you're surrounded by your family and you just feel that acceptance. And I love that she has that. I'm so glad that this is the kind of thing that she lives. You know, this is her life. This is her husband, and their relationship is wonderful, and they have Christmas together. It's a wonderful story, and yes, you did win the husband lottery. Good for you. Congratulations. Enjoy the rest of your life. And thank you for your story. That was wonderful. The next one is from a girl we'll call Stacie. And she says, my wife was the first and still is one of my biggest supporters of my fashion lifestyle. She makes most of my underclothes and accessories to accentuate my EGL look. We were at Dragon Con and I was debuting my Alice in Wonderland inspired EGL dress when suddenly my wife pinned me up against a wall. She shielded me with her body from all onlookers and began to push something up my skirt and petticoat. Unknown to myself, my silky bloomers began traveling towards my ankles as I walked. With one swift move, she was able to pull them up and pin them to my camisole. She always carries safety pins in case of costume emergencies. She did this all in less than 5 seconds and didn't even stick me with the pin. I still shiver at the thought of a picture of my bloomers proving gravity still works circulating the internet. She was truly my hero that day. Anyone else think that was gonna go a different direction? Just for a sec? Just me? Okay, that's fine. I'm the only degenerate here, apparently. No, but seriously, like, that's wonderful, because I've experienced that. Like, I've been walking along, luckily mine aren't silk, so I can notice the texture difference, but like, my bloomers are starting to move, and I'm like, okay, bathroom now. But this girl, like, she would have been boned. Like, without her wife there, like, she would have been boned. And her wife is just quick and efficient and ready to go. Like, she just Lolita ninja'd this woman, and I fracking love it. Like, again, I thought it was going a completely different way for a second and I was gonna have to censor some things, but it didn't, because not everyone is a degenerate like I am. So, like, wonderful story. Like, that is just, she really did save the day. It is ridiculously embarrassing to think of your underthings creeping towards the fracking floor. And she just came in and immediately just like pinned things. Like, I would have stabbed this woman if I'd tried that nonsense. Hell, she would have stabbed me first if I'd tried that nonsense. Her wife is very efficient. Like, that is amazing. I love this story. It's funny, and it ends sweetly, and I want to go to Dragon Con, gosh darn it, one day. But like, this is great. I love that she's just always there to like help you like make things and fix things, and she's just on the job. She's just ready to go. Like, good for you, good for her. Fracking great story. All right, this next one is our last one. So to end the evening, to end the crying and strange word making that I'm putting together as a video, she didn't leave permission to use her name, but she is a patron, so I want to thank her up front for that. And we shall call her Callie. Your name is going to be Callie for this. And Callie says, it's not really a specific thing, but more like the ongoing support my husband gives me. He buys me brand for my birthday and is always like, what would you like this year? He helps me with my cords, helps me pick between this blouse and that nearly identical blouse, ties my waist ties as best he can. We both suck at it. The other day, he held my wigs patiently while I ran around like a madwoman trying to find my bobby pins. When I first joined my local comm before we were married, he went with me to my first few meets because they were at least an hour away, and I was still nervous about meeting everyone and going around by myself in frills. If there are disputes in my comm, he lets me unload, offers advice, and he never gives off the attitude like it's dumb or silly. He's always treated it like it's valid and never even bats an eye. Anyway, from big things to small gestures, his cheerful support has been comforting, fun, and something I never want to take for granted. Anyway, I don't know if this was what you were looking for exactly, so feel free to skip it. Oh no. We're not skipping this nonsense. Are you serious? This is adorable. What do you mean skip it? Some of you out there, I swear, I want to smack you out of love because this is amazing. I love everything about this. Like, he's there for the little things. He's there for the big things. He doesn't treat any of it like it's just frippery or nonsense. And he's just supportive. I know that's the word I use over and over. I need another thesaurus right now. But that's the word that just keeps coming back to mind. Like, these people who come in and support their partners without question, without judgment, just like an actual partner is supposed to. So just in case any of you are out there dealing with some nonsense, your partner is supposed to support you. They're not supposed to denigrate the things you like. Seriously, mind you, some relationships, we like to snip at each other and it's fun. They're supposed to support the things that you love. They don't have to like them necessarily, but they are not supposed to denigrate them in a serious manner. And this is exactly the kind of thing I love to read about. Like, the fact that he bought her brand for her birthday. Like, it's not just a once a year thing. You got birthdays, you got Christmas, you got anniversaries, so who knows? But like, he supports her on that special day when they're celebrating the fact that she's made it one more cycle around this crazy fracking solar system, and he's celebrating it with the thing that she loves most, and it's wonderful. And he's always asking her what she would like for this year, so he's checking in. Like, he's not just buying her Milano or some nonsense. Like, he's like, what would you like? Tell me what you're interested in, because he is invested in this relationship. And I fracking love it. Granted, he's invested enough to have married her, so duh, he's a little invested. You know, he didn't walk down the street and say, ah, that one seems nice, gimme. Like, obviously. But I just love that he's just living this life with her, and that I can just see it. It's another like sitcom-esque thing. Like, I would read this manga of this like doting boyfriend who is like helping this frantic Lolita with bobby pins and wigs and buying her brand on her birthday. Like, can't you just see the wah face with like the blush marks and the wide eyes with the little hearts in them when she opens the package, and he just has this like long-standing like simmering love for her, almost like a butler. It would be like a butler and a Lolita, and they're in love. They're beautifully in love, but it is not meant to be, so he must be somewhat distant with her. I don't know where this is going. This is my headcanon. I'm so sorry. But this is what your story did to me. It inspired wonderful and happiness and manga flashbacks, because that's where my brain goes. But it's just wonderful. Like, I love that he's always treated it like it's valid. And there's big things, there's small gestures. He's always been like comforting and fun, and he doesn't take her for granted, and that is just a wonderful way to end this first attempt at not spraying salt out of a fracking cannon at you. Like, wonderful story. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think that is where we'll end it. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for watching Boyfriend or Girlfriend Save the Day. That's the working title right now. We'll see if we change it in the description. And you should know that this show is sponsored in part by BB&B. They are my absolutely favorite jewelry makers. I am hoarding everything that they make. And you can find a link to their shop below. And to wrap things up with a big fracking bow, I'd like to thank my patrons for continuing to support this show as we continue to make more and more videos with less and less ardent ties to sanity. If you'd like to join their number, you can head over to patreon.com/lastweeklolitanews, where you'll find 2 videos a week before the public gets to see them. And also other things and clips and behind the scenes, and also I can answer your questions. Because now I have no time. I'm making 3 videos a week. But I will answer your questions. I will shoot espresso up my nose. But I will answer my frackin' patrons, because you guys have made this shit possible. All of it. I know this was supposed to be a sweet video, and now I've gone to expletives, but that is what I am, okay? I'm one expletive wrapped in salt with a bad personality, and yet here we are. I'm not to be held responsible for whatever you see there. Thanks again, guys, and I'll catch you next time.